Tomorrow is going to be a very sad day here at Valley News Live because Stephanie Goetz is actually retiring from broadcasting. She's going to be opening up a new chapter of her life, and she joins us tonight in studio. We want to do a couple. First off, thank you and congratulations on this new chapter.
You.
So I want to kind of just go down memory lane a little bit, but also talk about the impetus to opening up this new chapter and what that's going to look like. So here's what I want to share with you, and you can go, Berg, you don't know what you're talking about.
First of all, I'm not retiring.
Well, just from broadcasting. But
well, you never know. I mean, there's whether it is helping out here or doing other. Of course, broadcasting will always be in my blood. Definitely.
So you were on the show. We were talking about International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day. I think it was in November. And I remember sitting in that interview with you because as a anchor, you don't really get to show too much personality. It's kind of like, hey, here's the news, here's what's going on. And I remember that night watching you and the passion you had about what you're doing with your foundation and those kind of things. Like, I don't know how much longer it's just going to be here. Like, I was going through my head watching your passion. How long have you had this sort of thing germinating, percolating, and you going, maybe it's time to make a move?
Well, it has been a while, and the thing with the nonprofit is something that is completely beautifully on its own, and the business that I'm starting is completely separate entities. It's very wonderful and exciting, though. I mean, it's something that's been kind of brewing inside of me for years. When I started in broadcast, you get asked to speak, you get asked to talk about things, and the more that I did that, the more that I saw actually there's a lot of people that are really struggling out there, and the struggles that I've gone through from personal loss and tragedy, to get through that and to help others and to inspire others to actually achieve far more is incredible. When you meet these people that are 70 years old and who say, I'm going to make a change today. You can be 70, 90, whatever it is. And so for me, I thought that this is really a time to move forward.
How long have you been in the broadcasting biz?
It's about 9 years.
All right, let's go down memory lane here a little bit. We've got a video we want to share of some old good ones, and I want you, if you don't mind, to kind of just talk over the video and go, hey, here's what I was doing, and let's roll the tape, please.
So I think some of the first video is me doing sideline reporting for, this is the B out in Minot, as you can see, with Johnny Cole there.
Wow.
And allegedly, I'm one of the few females, if maybe only, who had done sideline reporting for at least the North Dakota state tournaments. But to me, I just felt like everybody else, right? This is doing curling, of course, for the very first time, and that is so much harder than it looks. Okay, people. Do not think that it's an easy sport.
Do you miss some of the reporting, or do you like the anchoring better?
They both have their advantages. I miss reporting because I get to get out there in the field and get to talk to people, get to see their lives, get to go into their homes. This is during the flood of 2011. And, I mean, people allow you in their backyards. They allow you inside their homes.
Look at you rocking the ESPN Sports right there. I love that.
I started doing some sports here early on, yes. And then I don't even know what's happening there. My goodness, you look back at some of the hair, the bad clothes, the whatever. But yeah, it's been a great run. There was one instance where actually the news director, I think it was 2011, he came running into the newsroom and he said, we need to do a story and an entire show out in the flooded I-29.
Yeah.
And part of I-29 was completely flooded, and it was shut down for that time. It was something like a few days. And so we did an entire show live from out there. I had no teleprompter, no nothing. You just have your scripts, of course. But you really have to adjust on the fly very quickly. You have to be able to do anything.
So as I'm watching this, what I'm curious to hear from you is your favorite or most memorable broadcasting moment is what?
Yes. Well, I would say there's a couple, one of which was being able to interview Phil Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of many years ago when I first started out. And that was incredible because he came up to UND and he was given an honorary doctorate, I believe, and some honor up there. And no one else got to speak to him, but I was so fortunate. I had dug around and got him as he was coming out after the talk. And this man has a wingspan of bigger than any human being, I'm pretty sure, than the Hulk. I mean, it was incredible to be able to speak to him in that zen that people talk about. It's completely true. The man was very centered, very peaceful. It was amazing. But I think one of the other amazing stories to be able to do that really impacted our region and me too, just to see him recover, was Zach Gabbard. He was the 17-year-old basketball player that collapsed on the court from Perham. And this star basketball player all of a sudden collapses on the court, and everyone's thinking like he's not going to live. And it was very shocking for everyone there. And to see him go from getting these open heart surgeries to getting back on track to now he's playing basketball again, and to be able to be let into his home, to be able to be let in to speak with him and his family, you become very, very close with the people you're doing the stories on, because they have to trust you. But you also, as you do, have to hold people who are powerful and have huge responsibility accountable as well.
So let's talk about what the next chapter holds. You spoke at the Valley Women's Expo over the weekend, and
Yeah.
she did an outstanding job. And I got to tell you, the venue, if you haven't spoken before publicly, it was tough to manage.
It was
You did an
challenging.
outstanding job doing that. So
Yeah.
what's next for you? Where are you going?
Well, the world is my oyster, I think. It's an exciting opportunity to take a risk, but also have a lot of great reward. And there at the expo, and what I'll be speaking on as it will evolve, I'm sure, but is kind of two big pieces: the beauty of struggle and building resiliency, and then also how do you get your message across and communicate effectively, or even have some, media training
Nice.
and everything in place. Many of these organizations, we call them up, and they kind of say, we don't know what to do, to be able to give them the tools to be able to better understand what it's like on our end, because then you'll actually be able to effectively communicate to your customer base, to your donors, to anybody, what's going on if there is, fraud at a bank, or if there's a big scandal. People want transparency, they want authenticity, and they want leaders to come out and say, hey, this is what's going on. But I think the biggest piece is being able to help educate and empower, whether it's employees from companies, whether it's individuals or women's groups, that you can get through stuff. You're way stronger than you think. But so often we don't think we are. And so giving people the tools and the resources to be able to get through some of the worst times in their life. I never thought I'd be able to get through. If I'd be sitting here today and someone says, you're going to have the loss of 2 brothers, an aunt, 2 grandparents, in about a 7-year time span before I was 20 years old.
Wow.
You can get through it. Now, it takes some digging, it takes taking care of yourself, but that can break down barriers for people and help them be most effective and use their talents to the fullest.
Thank you for your contribution to our
Yeah.
community. And I got to end this with a tweet with a text that came in.
And it's not from my mother.
Right, I was going to say, that's so nice your mom texted me. Here it is. Someone said, hey, I will miss Steph being on the news. You're an angel, and the world needs more angels.
Oh.
God bless you. That was very sweet. God
So
bless
sweet.
you always. Yeah. So thank you,
Absolutely.
and
Thanks,
good luck on
Chris.
the next journey.
I'm going to
next
miss working
chapter.
alongside you, but maybe
We'll
I'll
have you
show
back.
up.
Yeah.
I'll show up on the North
I
Dakota
might
Today
wrangle you into
sometimes.
co-hosting
You'll be like,
POV.
"We
You
need
never know,
someone."
so look out. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we're going to get to your points of view. If you want to send in some nice, more sweet texts about Steph, please do so. We got a great story, too, about the Grand Forks mayor. He's out in D.C. tonight. We'll tell you about that later on in the show. Stay with us.